Welcome to Behind the Cellar Door. I am Janine. Today we are going to be talking about our ultimate expression of the Oso Libre estate, our Por Vida wine. So we are getting ready to bottle the 2017 vintage. I've got Michael and Luis here with me today to finalize the blends before we bottle in the next 2 weeks.
Well, thank you, Janine. So we're getting into the finalization steps for the blend of our 2017 Por Vida. We've gone through about 7 or 8 different blend candidates we're working on, and people ask me how you put the blends together. We'll usually start with last year's combination or last vintage's combination and use that as a base point to kind of try to stay as similar as possible. The wines will never taste the same because of vintage to vintage variance, but we wanted to have something to where when somebody picks up a glass of Por Vida, they go, oh, that's Por Vida. So, like for example, what's the percentage on the last, Janine?
So the 2015 vintage was 52% Cab, 31% Primitivo, and 17% Mourvedre. So Cabernet dominant, that seems to be a trend from 13 and 15.
Yeah, the wine has pretty much always been a Cabernet dominant wine, and the way we use all 3 red varieties we grow on the property, the first or base is Cabernet Sauvignon. That's the foundation for the wine. It gives you primarily, the aromatics, the structure, and it's like the foundation of the house that we hang everything else on. Next, we're going to end up with some Primitivo being added for fruit content and to give it a nice, lively zestiness to it because of a little bit higher acidity. And then finally, Mourvedre will be the kind of rounding out, has the most structure, a little bit of earthiness, and just kind of add some overall complexity to the wine. So our current blend that we have here with our little blending tubes, we currently have a blend of 45% Cabernet Sauvignon, 15% Mourvedre, and 40% Primitivo. And we've worked through several different combinations. This is the one that we're going to try next. So let's go ahead and pour it in our glass and give it a taste. So after going through all the components, I write down notes and Luis and I talk about it. And from there, we'll look at the characteristics and figure out where to go with our next combination. So Luis, what do you think? How's this taste?
Well, it seems to me like the fruit was a little overpowering on this one.
Okay. So with what he said, overpowered fruit, to me that says that there's a little bit too much Primitivo in it. So our next trial will be dialing down the Primitivo percentage and probably adding in a little bit more Cabernet Sauvignon. So now we'll go through and create another blend to try it against. So what we're going to do now is create, using our 100 ml cylinders, a 50% blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, 15% Mourvedre, and 35% Primitivo. So we're going to start with 50% Primitivo. Because this is a 100 ml cylinder, it makes math really easy. 50 mils is 50%, as long as you fill up to 100. So I've got 50% Cab. I'm going to take the the Primitivo. I'm going to add 35% of that. $35 there. And then top off the 100 mils with 15 mils or 15% Mourvedre. Bring it right to 100. And there's our next blend candidate. Okay, now we have our second trial for this sitting. This, as we mentioned before, is toning back the Primitivo and adding a little bit more Cabernet. So now all we do is taste. Look at the aromatics. see how balanced the wine is. One of the difficult parts about putting wines together, blends together, is we take our best wines and we have to look at that wine that we feel is one of our best and knock it down and figure out what's wrong with it so that we can try to enhance it by using blending. So maybe there's not enough structure in the cab, so the Mourvedre will kind of add that. We need a little bit more fruit or acidity. We can add some Primitivo. But when we're done, we want it to be in harmony so that Mourvedre doesn't stick out, or cab doesn't stick out. We just want it to be a nice, well-rounded wine. So Luis, how's this one taste?
I think you hit it on the nail with this one.
So
Perfect.
the fruit is not rearing up. It's just got the nice structure. It's got the kind of the essence of Cabernet Sauvignon, or that mouth feeling expression, and then a great sense of depth and complexity. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So after tasting through the varieties on their own, what can you say about the 2017 vintage? Was it better or worse? You know, because we bottled the 16s last year. What are you finding to be?
To me, the 17s have a little bit more finesse and less, I guess, overstatement.
Okay.
16 was a ripe year, and if you taste the 16 Quixotic, that's a really fruity expression of Cabernet Sauvignon, where it was a little bit milder of a year in 17, and so it brings a little bit of finesse to the wines, and that's what I think the overall depth and complexity of the 2000 Por Vida will display.
All right, so looking forward to the 2017.
So we've got all our other blends put together. This is the last one that we're putting the final touches on. We'll be bottling these here in a couple weeks, and then they'll be going, many of them will be going out in your spring shipment.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us and behind the cellar door. Can't wait to share our new wines with you.